Hi Love Bug, it's Emily and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if it is your first time hanging out with me. Over here, we do a lot of things, but we mostly talk about ways you can level up your life and thrive in your 9 to 5 and beyond. And today is no exception. I figured we could do a little chit chat. Get ready with me as I get ready for, I guess it's a date. I'm grabbing dinner with someone. I don't know if it's a date, so we're just gonna do a quick face for that and talk about some things that are going on in my life and going on in the world, so let's get into it. I'm gonna start off with this lip SPF. I didn't really realize this was a thing, but Supergroup sent this to me in PR, and it has SPF 40 in it, so kind of smells like bananas. I also already have my face SPF on. I'm almost out of this. All right, let's rummage through this makeup. And I feel like I owe you an explanation as to why I'm so tired. So literally 24 hours ago, actually not even 48 hours ago, I landed back home in Toronto from Alberta. And I was in Alberta for just over a week. I was primarily there for the Calgary Stampede. And I didn't know what the Stampede was. And to be honest, I know I just got back from the Stampede. Don't fully know if I understand what it is. It's basically a country music festival. That's how it's advertised, except this year there were hardly any country music artists, and I'm not even a country girl, okay? But I wanted to go for the experience because everyone says the Calgary Stampede is like the most fun thing that you can do in Canada, and it lasts a full 2 weeks. It's $50 for a ticket, and the ticket gives you in and out access, so you can go in and out of the fairgrounds. There's rides, carnival food, like all of that stuff. There was pickle lemonade, like just the weird carnival shit. And then the concerts were pretty cool. They had some big names like Diplo. They had, God, who was it? Billy Currington. Not a lot of country music, which was disappointing. But basically everyone who goes dresses up in Stampede attire, and then throughout the like fairgrounds, there's stuff to do, but the fun part is outside of the fairgrounds where it's all scattered across the city, and there's tents that these different bars rent, and you buy a ticket to get into the bar, and it's outside in a tent. There's country music, there's dancing. So that's basically where I was for half of my trip. Oh my gosh, I already know I'm gonna F up my eyebrows trying to talk and do this. And then the rest of my trip was spent in a road trip. And I don't really road trip, but it was so beautiful. I would recommend it to anybody. So my friend Allie and I, before the Stampede started, got there a couple days early, and we drove through Jasper and Banff. I've never seen water like that. Like, I actually got emotional. I've never seen a sight so beautiful. The entire way we were driving through the Rocky Mountains, and it was the most blue water I have ever seen. The landscapes were stunning. Everyone was also so nice. We'll say, fair warning, if you're considering a trip to Alberta, it is kind of scary because when you drive through the Rocky Mountains, which is like the big stretch around Alberta, there's not actually any cell reception. So we were kind of freaking out because yes, if there's an emergency, you can't call anyone, but we couldn't use a GPS. So we were trying to drive to a city that was 6 hours away called Jasper. We had no idea how to get there. So there was that. Overall though, it was just the most amazing time. Will say Calgary is a pretty cool city. A lot of people from Toronto have been moving to Calgary recently because the cost of living is just billions of times better. Like, it's so much less expensive. You have beautiful outdoor landscapes. However, really liked Calgary. I don't know if I see myself living there. I think that's the kind of city you go to if you really like the outdoors. I don't know if I'm that girl. I like city. Every time. I'm never not gonna drop something. I'm just not a outdoorsy girl, but I am who I am. And then once I got home, I actually had like a really emotional couple of days because I posted a post on Instagram just talking about like body image and self-love and all of these things. And I got so many DMs from people, particularly women, talking about how much they struggled with their body image, especially in their 20s and in their teens. And a lot of people on how they're still struggling with their body image. And that's something I can very much relate to because as much as I make content about feeling confident and feeling good about yourself, that was not always the case for me. I had a very tumultuous relationship with my body, what I looked like. I just wasn't a fan of me, which I look back and I'm so sad about. And I've talked about that before, like on this channel and on other channels. And I think social media makes it really easy to look at people without a critical lens. I used to often look at people who post like, I don't know, their trips or, you know, selfies, their relationship. And I would assume everything I was looking at was 100% real and accurate, particularly their bodies. Like, I would look at these girls, especially like the IG baddie era. Like, basically, if you've ever modeled for Fashion Nova, I used to look at you and want to cry. And I would look at these body types and would be like, okay, what's wrong with me? Why don't I look that way? And I love creators, to be honest, like myself, like the Birds Papaya, like so many people who make very real and authentic and relatable content and never, ever edit their photos. Like they are who they are. The body you see in real life is the body you see on the internet. And it's so refreshing because real bodies, not Instagram bodies, have cellulite. They jiggle. Some of them are petite. Some of them are a little bit more cushiony and soft, like myself and like others. It's just so crazy to me how much pressure is applied to women and their body. And so much of that from when I was growing up in the 2000s came from like TV, and it came from magazines, and now it's all Instagram, which is so terrifying because if I was 13 years old and I was on Instagram and I saw, you know, girls posting about them being at a party and, ooh, fashion outfit of the day, and they're like perfectly shaped and the standard of beauty, and there's no way for me to understand what's real and what's fake, that would mess with me. Like Tumblr already threw my mental health for a loop. I blame a lot of the like I was gonna say resurgence, but like the birth of my eating disorder on being on Tumblr, because there was all of these photos of these beautiful girls and there was all this talk of like thigh gaps and all of these things that was really just messing with a brain that hadn't fully developed. And it took a lot of years to unlearn that. I just think it's really sad. It's a sad place to be, the world that we live in sometimes, that is for sure. I'm gonna go in with my Tower 28 bronzer. Usually I use my powder bronzer, but I don't want to unpack my makeup that I've packed for my trip, and that one is already in my suitcase. Just gonna pounce this baby in. Okay, I want to talk about unpaid labor. Okay, so when I was younger, it was not illegal to take an unpaid internship, and in some places it's still not illegal, which disheartens me very much so. And I don't want to get too far into the Colleen / Miranda Sings. I don't even want to call it drama because it's not drama, it's a federal crime. But like that whole side of the internet. And there's so many things that are so wrong about that situation. If you don't know what's going on, Miranda Sings, aka Colleen, I don't know what the hell her last name is, but Colleen was a huge YouTube sensation in like the 2010 era. She made comedy content that was primarily targeted towards children, and ultimately the content was super inappropriate, sexual, racially charged, just lots of weird things. And it's fairly recently been exposed or brought to light that she had really inappropriate conversations with her fans, and some of those fans are now talking about their experience. And one of the things that I thought was fascinating but also so disturbing was that she would meet with her fans, particularly fans who already had a social media following and social media presence, and she would give them the opportunity to work on her social media. So they would make tweets, they would, I don't know, like do all of this stuff for her online for free. For free. And a lot of them thought about it as any child would, like, oh great, I'm 15 years old, this is great experience for me to put on my resume, and I should just be grateful for the experience. And what I think is so sad about that, in addition to like all of the exploitation in many other ways that happened, is that that is really the mindset. And exploitation in this case happened in like sexual ways and in other like far more fucked up ways, in my opinion. But what's particularly interesting is how normalized the concept of unpaid labor is as well. And I'm not saying that that is the reason any of those horrible things happened. And frankly, she's a piece of shit. Like, she's a bad person, and I don't want to get into the like details of that. But I just think it's so interesting how normalized unpaid labor is, because we think of it as, oh, well, I'm gaining experience. And there's a really good reason that unpaid internships are not legal in a lot of countries. It's because it is another form of exploitation. So, you know, in these conversations, obviously most of the victims are talking about the inappropriate conversations and the really intense portions of their unhealthy and inappropriate relationship, which makes total sense. What I think is being glazed over a little bit is just how fundamentally messed up it is that this person was a grown-ass adult woman and got teenagers to do unpaid labor, like free work for years. And she would promise them jobs, she would promise them promotions, like all of this shit. Do you think any of them ever ended up getting a job? Do you think she ever compensated any of them? These kids were literally going on tour with her. Like, they were leaving their family home to go on tour for this woman to not pay them. My brain melts. I usually wear these two together and then top it off with my IT Cosmetics mascara because it's waterproof. But I don't think I feel like doing good makeup today. I don't even really know what tonight is, if I'm honest with you. So I don't want to put too much thought into it. And no, I didn't put concealer under my eyes because when I'm tanned, I just feel like it's not necessary, which maybe I'm making up. But yeah, that's just one of the things that kind of came to my mind. I leave for London on Saturday, so by the time you're watching this, I'm probably already in the UK. I'm gonna be there for a week for work, which I am really, really excited about. I was considering like, oh, maybe should I vlog this? But I don't know, do people still vlog? I'm the kind of person, I love watching vlogs. I love watching chit chat videos because I just put them on while I'm like cooking or, you know, just doing stuff around the house. I do that with podcasts a lot too, but my podcast is very, very careers focused. So I, you know, like to break up the content so it's not exclusively just talking about careers. It's kind of giving you like a little bit of variety. But yeah, I was considering maybe vlogging what it's like to work in another country, maybe what the food scene is like. I don't really know. I'm kind of considering it. I don't really have concrete plans there though, I will say that. Oh my god, I'm so ready to get these nails off. I cheated on my nail tech because I needed to get my nails done before I went to Calgary and she was away. So I went to another person and it shows. It stinking shows. I do not like the nails that I have right now. I'm actually gonna get these totally taken off and I just want like short, natural, like just my nails, not these freaking claws. And you know what someone said to me actually while I was in Calgary, speaking of my nails? Someone was like, yeah, I can tell you're not from here because of your nails. I was like, damn, really? Is that a thing? How rude. Man, I love this mascara, but the packaging is so messy. I don't even know why. You know when you are like getting to know, oh my god, I think I'm gonna get mascara everywhere. You know when you are like first getting to know someone and you genuinely cannot tell if they like you or not? That's kind of where I'm at. I can't tell if this man is into me. BRB, I need to go get a lip product. Ugh, this lip liner. I don't know why people like it so much. This is Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. Everyone on the internet is like, this is the best liner of all time. First of all, this shit was $40. And I feel like, yes, it's kind of my lips, but better, but it's almost like too pink. I don't know, I'm not like crazy about it. All right, this is the finished look. What a weird little ramble. I hope that you enjoyed it. I appreciate you. I love you. And I will talk to you when I post my next video.